I took a deep breath, gripped my purse tightly, and walked toward the door. Today felt different, as if the very air carried a scent of anticipation. I had never imagined that my own daughter, Simone, would ignore me like I was some unnecessary guest. But that was the reality. When I entered the house, nothing seemed ordinary. Simone glanced at me, and her eyes held a coldness that pierced me to the core. Instead of embracing me, she offered only a faint smile, neither joyful nor loving. I thought to myself that maybe I could bear being with them for just a little while, keeping my emotions in check. I asked, "Honey, is everything okay?" Simone looked down and replied, "Yes, Mom. We'd like you to sit in the kitchen today. Preston has some guests over, and we want everything to go smoothly." I looked at her for a moment, then said with a slight smile, "Okay, sweetie, I'll sit in the kitchen." My heart sank, but I said nothing. I knew tonight would change everything, but they had no idea what I was prepared for. Once in the kitchen, I sat down, placing my purse in my lap. I clenched my hands and remembered that these were the hands that had raised Simone, cooked for her, supported her education, and sacrificed everything for her. Today, they might have looked like the hands of a weak mother in front of her, but inside, my heart was resolute. I took a steadying breath and gazed silently toward the outside. As I stepped out the door, the cold air brushed against my face, and raindrops settled in my hair. The empty city streets mirrored my solitude. With each step, I felt my heartbeat echoing one truth. Today, I would not remain silent. I headed to my car and drove to the part of the city where my real life thrived, the small restaurant I had built through years of hard work. Simone and Preston had no idea that I wasn't just a housewife. I was also a successful businesswoman and chef. I called my manager and said, "Close the restaurant for tomorrow night." Hanging up, I told myself, "Tonight will change everything." When Simone and Preston arrived the next evening, they were stunned. The restaurant's lights, aroma, and ambiance left them speechless. I wore my chef's coat, and the name embroidered on it drew every eye. Simone's jaw dropped, and Preston's pride crumbled. I calmly said, "Please, come, sit with me at the dining table tonight." They were silent. For the first time, the silence was filled with respect, not shame or humiliation. I had shown them that the mother who sat quietly in the kitchen was not weak. I then shared my story with them, how I had built this restaurant, created jobs for women, and brought change to the community. Simone and Preston were speechless. They realized that a mother was not just a home's ornament, but a strong, independent woman whose work and character far exceeded their assumptions. Simone said, embarrassed, "Mom, I had no idea you had done all this." I hugged her and said, "Honey, today you tried to break me by sending me to the kitchen, but I showed you that a mother is never weak." Preston stepped forward and said, "Mrs. Annie, I'm sorry. Truly, we misjudged you." I nodded. Mistakes happen, but only those with a big heart correct them. That night, everything changed. They saw the mother in my eyes, not a weak woman. Simone promised she would never underestimate me again, and Preston expressed genuine remorse for his behavior. I felt a deep inner peace. From now on, our relationship would be built on respect and understanding, not pride or humiliation. Later, standing on the restaurant's rooftop, watching the raindrops fall, I breathed in the mixed scents of salt in the air and damp earth. I realized that life presents moments that test patience and courage. I had never imagined that my own daughter could humiliate me, but today that very humiliation revealed my true strength. I understood that a mother is never weak. She is only sometimes underestimated. I vowed never to hide myself again, never to measure my worth through the eyes of others. The next day, Simone's face bore the clear marks of remorse. She kept apologizing, And I explained to her that truly understanding and acknowledging everything is the greatest strength. Preston sat quietly, perhaps realizing for the first time that the woman he had underestimated was far stronger and greater than he imagined. I told them both never to underestimate anyone, because true strength often remains hidden, working quietly. I shared the details of my restaurant projects and successes. Simone's eyes were wide with astonishment, and Preston's attitude shifted completely. He understood that the woman he had thought of as weak could actually transform the lives of thousands. That night, I had not only revealed my reality to them, but also taught them truth and respect. As evening fell, the three of us stood on the restaurant terrace. The air smelled of salt, the waves crashed against the shore, and I felt peace in my heart. Simone held my hand and said, "Mom, I understand now. I promise this will never happen again." I hugged her and said, "Honey, this is life. Learn it, and always remember that a mother is never weak." Preston came forward, shook my hand, and said, "I understand now. I'm sorry for everything." That night, I realized that the greatest success in life isn't wealth or business achievements. It's respect, love, and honesty in relationships. I had shown my daughter and son-in-law not only my strength, but also that honor comes not from chairs, tables, or status, but from character and hard work. At this turning point in my life, I felt my family, my respect, and my identity were secure. Later, I picked up my pen from my diary and wrote, "A mother is never weak. She is just sometimes underestimated. Today I proved that even in silence, power exists. From now on, I will never hide myself, never allow my truth to appear weak, and my daughter will always remember that respect, love, and trust are the true foundations